I'm Molly. I'm one of the founders of AdAdapted, and we are a mobile advertising company here in Ann Arbor. And I am super excited about today, especially about all the students that are coming out to participate in Tech Trek. And I wish that I had some practical advice for them on how to become an entrepreneur, but I don't. So instead, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that I learned in high school that eventually helped me start my own company. Okay, number 1, manage your time. So the valedictorian of my class was a girl named Leslie Gordon, and she was my nemesis. If I got an A, Leslie got an A+. If I got on varsity soccer, Leslie got captain. She was AP everything. She still volunteered, and she had plenty of time to hang out with her friends. And it was super easy to just say, Leslie's a genius and she must be a freak of nature, but that's not the case. Leslie was just super good at managing her time. Turns out that is the key to a lot of people's success. She knew every week what she wanted to do, and whenever she had a spare minute, she was just knocking things off that to-do list. And it made her look like a rock star. At a startup, it is absolutely essential that you can stay focused, that you know what you have to get done, and you can break it down to priorities. Yeah. And you can manage your time. All right, number 2. Talk to anyone. When I was a junior, my best friend Kylie was going to go on a school-sponsored trip to Florida with her AP Bio class, and I really, really wanted to go. The problem was I wasn't in AP Biology, because I wasn't in any biology, because I really wasn't that into science, but I was really into going to Florida. So we hatched a plan, we got prepared, and I asked Mr. Mayer, the 60-year-old science teacher that smelled a little bit like formaldehyde and with whom I had nothing in common with, to sit down with me to chat. We talked, and he finally recognized that I did in fact have a deep passion for science that no one had ever seen, and that I just needed some inspiration to draw it out. And we both determined that the best way to do that was to go to the Everglades. And I had a fantastic trip. And that's lesson number 2. And it is not learn to be a con artist, it's learn to talk to anyone. And you're gonna need it. At a startup, you have to talk to investors, you have to talk to salespeople, you have to talk to developers, and a lot of them are gonna be very different from you. But it is your job to get them to see your vision. It is your job to get them to let you on the bus. Okay, last one. Build resilience. This is the hardest one. When I was a sophomore, I was totally in love with a senior that barely knew that I existed. Nonetheless, homecoming was coming up, and so I mustered every ounce of courage that I had, and one day at lunch, I walked across the cafeteria, I went right up to the senior's table, and I looked at John, because that was his name, John, and my heart was pounding out of my chest, and I just said, "Will you go to the dance with me?" And he said yes. I was so excited, you guys. I was thrilled. I just remember feeling like I had all the confidence in the world. I'm walking around school just feeling awesome. I had been courageous, and that bravery had paid off. Or so I thought, because that is not the lesson. A week later, I'm getting out of soccer practice, and one of John's friends walks over to me, and I'm with my whole team, and he walks up to me and he says, hey, John wants me to tell you that he doesn't want to go to the dance with you anymore. I know, I was heartbroken. All the emotions that you can imagine. Your confidence slams to the floor, you feel sad, you also feel humiliated in front of everyone. And I'm just standing there feeling really alone, tears streaming down my eyes, and everybody's watching. Fast forward 15 years, my co-founder Mike and I are trying to get AdAdapted off the ground. We are working nights, we're working weekends, we are working all the time for months and months, and we finally have an investor say, I'm in. I'm giving you the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you guys need to start AdAdapted. And then 2 weeks later, he comes back and says, oh, hey, sorry, the funds aren't actually available, so we're out. Same feeling. As a grown-up, you are devastated. And you feel sad, and you feel humiliated, and I'd be a liar if I said that I didn't cry. But this time, I had experience. This time, I remembered being a 16-year-old girl, and I remember the next day that I still had to pick myself up. I had to walk back into school. I had to fight as much as I could to keep my head up and gain my confidence back because I had stuff to do. I had to have that confidence so I could go up to Mr. Mayor and say, let me on that damn bus to Florida, and I could go against Leslie Gordon, and I could beat her at her own game, sometimes, maybe once or twice, and I could keep going. And now it was my job to walk back into work, to tell my team that things were okay, to keep them motivated, so we could go on to raise millions of dollars, to get world-class clients, to build an amazing team that I have fun with every day and achieve my dream job. So that's my lesson. Bounce back, show up, and build resilience. And I'm almost out of time, but just one more thing, especially for the high school students here. Don't overthink what you're going to do or how you're going to do it because you might not know. But have faith that you guys have the chance right now to learn things that will prepare you. So by the time that you find the problem you're passionate about and that you find the project you want to work on, you will be ready. And I hope you dive in.